Okay, give everyone a little bit more time to come in. All right, and you guys, you all, please share and let everyone know that we are live and we are going to talk with our special guest, Lieutenant Colonel Antonio Coffey today. So we'll start in about a few more seconds. All right, so we'll go ahead and start, and you guys please share again and let everyone know that we're going live. So today is the final day of our Black History event, in Dr. Mister of Soul and Reap Physical Therapy. And again, it's really just to educate the youth on different careers, and this is the last day, but I have other things in mind with this, and I've gotten great feedback. So thank you all for sharing it, liking, commenting, asking your questions. I really appreciate that. So, but today our guest is Lieutenant Colonel Antonio Coffey, and he is an officer in the U.S. Army. He has deployed twice in support of Operation Iraq Freedom. In 2018, Lieutenant Colonel Coffey returned to the United States, and he is currently serving as the Secretary of General Staff for the 593rd D Expeditionary Sustainment Command. Sorry, Coffey. In June 2021, Lieutenant will take battalion command of the 407th Field Support Battalion in Fort Riley, Kansas. He has several awards and decorations. He has a bronze, an Army Achievement Medal, a National Defense Service Medal, a Global War on Terrorist Service Medal, Overseas Service Ribbon, Parachutist Badge, and 8 other awards and decoration. Lieutenant Colonel Coffey is from Winona, Mississippi. He is married to the lovely Captain Lakeisha Coffey, and the Coffeys are the parents of 2 children, and Darius and Private Corey Hamilton. So we are going to bring on Lieutenant Colonel Antonio Coffey. Let's see. Hey.
Hey there, how you doing?
I am good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great up here in Joint Base Lewis McChord, right outside of Seattle, Washington. This nice gloomy weather, as y'all can see outside, is raining. But hey, it's always a great day here in the great state of Washington. How's everybody doing out there?
Oh, good. It's you may get some weather tonight, but other than that, we are good. The snow is gone. Woo, that was a mess. But other than that, we are back to the warmth. It's warming up pretty good again. So thanks for asking.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So we'll say what high school and what colleges did you attend?
So I went to Montgomery County High School in Kilmichael, Mississippi, for all of my Hornet fans out there. I graduated there in 1996. From there, I didn't go right into a big 4-year college. I actually took the community college route. So I did 3 years at Holmes Community College. I did a year in Grenada, the Grenada Center, and then I did a year at 2 years at the Goodman campus. And then from there, I moved on. I went to the University of Southern Mississippi, the Pride of Mississippi, and from there, I majored in. I originally majored in mechanical engineering, but midway through my my junior year, the program went away, and then I transitioned over to industrial engineering. And then while I was there, I also took up, ROTC, and I'll kind of explain to everybody about that later down the road.
Okay.
But I ended up completing my bachelor degree in industrial engineering technology from the University of Mississippi, as well as a minor in military science.
Cool. All right. So are you a member of any special organizations?
Yes, I am. I'm a part of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
All right. All right. And also the Rocks INC. What is that incorporated?
Yes. So the Rocks INC is a mentorship program. It started at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. And it's a great organization where it mentor officers as well as warrant officers within, not only just in the Army, but just in all the branches of military service, whereas in the Marines, Air Force, the Navy, and the Coast Guard. So I'm a member of the Rocks Incorporation.
Okay, cool. All right, so you have a lot of titles. You've been all around the world. Like I was looking at your resume
Yes.
and I'm like, I don't even know where to start. So if you can, what are you doing now in Washington? Like what is your title?
So right now, I'm the secretary of the general staff. So I work for a one star
Okay.
general. Basically, I run day-to-day operations for the command group up here, as well as I synchronize day-to-day activities for the commanding general, as well as the command sergeant major, my DCO, my deputy commanding general, and then as well as, deputy commanding officer, and as well as my chief of staff. And not only I do that, but I kind of, because the ESC is pretty big. This ESC is, when you look at numbers wise, we compose of, almost, about 3,500 soldiers
Okay.
um, here. And, I synchronize, day-to-day operations with our subordinate units, especially with the brigades. So we have one brigade and the battalions. So what I do up here is very big, but I love this job. It's been like, I've been here almost 2 years now, and it's
Okay.
been a great job just working for good people. When you're working
Good
for good
deal.
leaders and good people, it makes a difference. It makes you want to come to work every day.
That's true.
And this has
So
probably been
true.
one of the best units I've ever been in. Just everybody is about taking care of the mission, and 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 that's what it's all about. Any type of organization you want to be a part of. You want to be able to come to an organization where there's an organization or a corporation, you want to go where you feel comfortable, when you want to get up, you want
Right.
to go, you want to work there, you want to give it your 110%. And there's always good outcomes at the end, when you put 110% in anything that you do.
Right, right. So true. So true. So as far as joining the army, I know everyone knows about the military. So was this something that you always aspired to do, or is it something that just kind of like worked this way? Like life just took you this way?
Uh, I would say it was something that I wanted to do,
Okay.
but
Okay.
growing up in Mississippi, I want to be a mechanic. Used to working on
Okay.
tractors and with my grandfather out in Lodi, and
Yeah. Yeah.
working on lawnmowers and stuff like that, trying to figure out, how did that work, and just, being a jack of all trades is what, I look at my grandfather. He's a jack of all trades, like my dad and my uncles, and you know, how our family is. Back everybody's pretty much a jack of all trades. They got a fix for
Right.
everything,
Right.
right? So,
Right.
but I really wanted to go to college. I really wanted to go to college because I I wanted to be successful, but I wanted to go to college, and it was beating in our brains. I won't say beating in our brain, but it was always so, you want to be successful, you want to go to college.
True.
And
True.
and when you go back and look back at things, like there was not a lot of people going to college, early on. But then I think once I got in high school, a couple of classes, I want to say it was the 1993 class at Montgomery County High. Quite a few of those high school graduates, a lot of them went to college. And I remember my
Okay.
cousin Shonda, I know she was one of them. She started at home as well. And
Right.
then when you start seeing that, it kind of inspires you. You're like, you know what, I can do that too. And I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't the smartest
Mm-hmm.
one, and I wasn't the smartest, but I made my grades. But I wasn't the smartest. I wasn't
Yes.
salutatorian
Yes.
or valedictorian. I wasn't none of that stuff. But I made the grades, and I worked hard at it because
Yes.
I wanted to go to college. With my
Yeah.
goal to go to college, and I didn't even know how I was gonna pay for it. I was like, I'm going to college. I figured it out, right?
Yeah.
So
Right. Right.
so when I the senior year, I was like, all right, what? I'm not going to go to some of the bigger 4-year schools. Let me try this college thing out, because I was going to go to the Army coming out of high school. You
Mm.
know, I changed
Okay.
my mind, because somebody told me, I'm not going to say any name, but somebody told me, you're not going to go to college. I was
Mm.
like,
Challenge.
okay, all right.
Challenge.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but I didn't let that deter me or anything like that, because
Mhm.
I said, I'm going to go to college. That was the instinct for me. And,
Right.
like I said, I started at Holmes, and, I was like, this college thing is okay, still trying to figure it out. And then I went down to the Goodman campus, and then I was like, all right, I can do it. And then the light blinked on, because I remember, it took me a while to figure this college thing out. And everybody,
Okay.
when you're young, you're still young,
Yes.
you're trying to assess
Yep.
yourself and figure out, okay, what is, what really you want to do. And I don't mind sharing this. I remember, I grew up in a trailer house, a
Okay.
small, not the double wide, the single wide, 3-bedroom trailer house. And,
Okay.
I'm thankful for that. But my mom told me, she was like, look, because they took away because my grades had failed. My grades had dropped. They put me on academic probation. And then my
Okay.
last year, my mom told me, she was like, hey, look, we had to put up the house for collateral for you to go to college. That light blinked on for me.
Yeah.
It blinked
Yeah.
on, and then I turned it on from there. I turned it
Yeah.
on. I was dialed in. I was like, my mom worked hard for that. It was a single wide double trailer. Single wide trailer house. My mom they worked
Right.
hard for that.
Yeah.
You know, I,
Yeah.
I can't let them lose that.
Right.
So the
Right.
light blinked on for me, and then that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to college. And I got in my books.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got in my
Right.
books,
Right.
and I was like, I'm going to Southern Miss. Oh, you're not going to Miss? Nah, I know there's too many of them. I know too many of them guys up there in the valley. I don't want to go there. Not saying anything bad, but I want to go
Right.
somewhere
Right. No, I
different.
get it. I get it. Right.
I want to go somewhere different. So I went to Southern Miss, but here's the funny thing. Years ago, I always said I'm gonna go to Southern Miss when I was young. I said I'm
Okay.
gonna go to Southern Miss because it's far away from one on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where we grew up from, I was like, it's far away.
Right.
And so when I went to US. I went to when I was we took a tour. The engineering department at Holmes took a tour down to Southern Miss, and as soon as I got there, I was like, this is the place I'm going. I'm going to school here.
Okay.
And we went to Mississippi State. I was like, I think I want to go to Southern Miss. And that was a great move for me. I went to USM.
Okay.
It was great down there. And then here's the other piece. It still stuck in my head. Was like, how you gonna pay for this? How you gonna pay for this? And then
Yeah.
that's when the ROTC, the first day I did my in processing at USM, there was a bunch of people in uniforms over there, and basically it was the ROTC program. And I went right over there, and I just, I was like, man, I'm gonna put my name on here. And then like that first week, they was like, hey, you gonna come and check out the class? And I was like, I don't know. And I added it to my as an elective, and I tell you what, I was like, this is cool stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
Matt Sergeant Bridier, he sold me. That was it. He was the NCOIC of the ROTC program, the acting senior list advisor. He sold me because he made the classes interesting. He made it fun. He knew how to reach the student. He made it approachable. And then there I am, 3 years later, I got commissioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say like I got commissioned in December. I think it was like December the 12th. 5 days later, I was on active duty in Virginia. Just that fast.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
All right.
So ROTC. No, it's fine. But you highly recommend those who want to go to college and join the military as one route to join the ROTC in their college. There's a commitment after that, though, right? Like you have to serve for so many years. And do they pay for your education the whole time you're in school? How does that work?
So I still had. So the first year I took the classes, and then the next summer I went to it's like that basic training. They call it basic camp. I did that basic training at Fort Knox, right?
Okay.
And then I came back and I was like, how can I maximize it? So I did SMP, right? So basically what SMP is, I sign up and listen. I raise my right hand, sign up for the ROTC program, right?
Okay.
And then I did the guard thing on the side. So I got guard money. I got money from, scholarship money from being in the National Guard. I can't call it. It was like a kicker. I remember I got back then. And then, the ROTC, they gave me a monthly stipend. It was like, I want to say it was like $350, but $350 back in, 2000, that was a great thing, right?
Right, for any college student, right?
For any college, right? That's $350 that you got in your pocket. You got a monthly stipend. And I'm gonna tell you, all the ROTC, every ROTC cadet, everybody had a car.
Oh,
around
wow.
campus.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
so for me, it was great because, you know, I had money, my school was paid for, I was making the grades, you know, I had some money in my pocket. So for me, it worked out. You know, it was a good avenue because it ended up, uh, it made me be successful down the road. Now, when I
Okay.
originally came in this thing, let's go back to ask your other question. You know, by being in the military, you know, I was only going to do 4 years because it was an 8-year commitment, right? I was just going to
Okay.
do, actually, I was going to just do the guard thing, right? I was going to stay
Okay.
and do the National Guard and do my 8 years because it's like an 8 years commitment. So I was going to do the National Guard and then just do the part-time thing and get me a job because they was building a Nissan plant right there in Canton.
Yep.
I was
Yep.
like, yeah,
Yep.
that's, you know, and then they had, I think it was
Yep.
a Toyota plant up towards like Oxford, Tupelo. So
Uh-huh.
there was going to be, you know, job opportunities in Mississippi for me. But the other thing that the big thing that was a changer for me from that is when my you know, at that time, and Darius was being born, my son, right?
Yeah.
While I was in
Yeah.
college, it was like my last year,
Yeah.
and I was like, I gotta,
Mm-hmm.
I can't do this guard thing. I need to go where there's stability, right?
Yeah.
And so I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going active duty. I'm
Yep.
going active duty, and you know, and it, I knew there was gonna be a risk of me not being around him just because of the military requirement. And at that time, that's when, you know, Iraq was amping up and things. So
Mhm.
I knew there was gonna be the times I wasn't gonna be here, but I was looking long term. I was like, I want him to go to
Yeah.
college.
I'm telling you.
I want him to go to
Yeah.
college. I want him to
Yes.
have a good life. You know, I want to be able to provide for him. You know, and also help my family.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was the driver. You know, once
Yeah.
in Darius, I was like, all right, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. The kids a changer, I tell you. They
Yeah,
push you to do things you're like, I wasn't even planning
yeah.
on doing that, but thanks, child. Like,
Yeah,
now, okay,
and
so
just to answer your other question, and I'm sorry, I know I got to answer that other
no, you
question you
good.
had. You know, what was the commitment? So it's an 8-year commitment, but a lot of times, what a lot of officers do is they do their 4 years, and then they get
Okay.
out, and you kind of like be on call. You know, any event
Okay.
at wartime, they can call you back onto active duty. Uh,
Okay.
what you know, and then a lot of them find out later down the road when they did that, they end up getting called back on active duty again due to the
Mm,
you know, global war missions or wartime mission that was going on at the time.
okay. I well just letting you guys know that we have a storm in the area. We should be good. I'm praying that we're good, but just letting you know if I start freezing up, that's what it is because it's starting to thunder outside. So, okay. So do you have any mentors or coaches that helped you along the way that you really just want to just say thank you?
Um, you know, for me, it goes back to, you know, with me and mentors, I always had a mentor at every stage of my life that I've been in,
Ah,
right? You know,
smart.
when you're growing up, you got your parents as mentors. You know, those are the people that give you that. Those people, those people you see in being a human being is them. You see them every day, the way they act. You pick up their mannerism, their
Mhm.
personalities. You know, so my
Yep.
mom, my grandfather, my uncles, you know, all of my uncles, you know, they were very good mentors. Me, my dad, you know. But for me in the military, it was my uncle, the late Uncle Kittredge Henderson. You know,
Okay.
he was on active duty. That was my aunt Pat, her husband who's deceased. You know, he
Okay.
always made it fun when he talked about being in the army.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, he
Right.
made it fun. He was, you know, Uncle Kit was just that funny guy. So, you know, but one thing he told me, he's like, hey nephew, you know, these some things you want to do. He was giving me those nuggets and stuff when I was in ROTC. He was telling me, this is the thing you need to do. You know, you always want to make sure you know your job. You know, you always want to make sure you're physically fit. You know, Rhoda, you
Right.
want to go out there and make sure you can run 2 or 3 miles. You know that type of stuff. And then as
Gotcha.
I grow up, a lot of mentors as a young junior officer, a lot of your mentors, especially when you first come in, when you get to your first unit, most of the time
Mm-hmm.
it's your platoon sergeant.
Okay.
You know, and I had a great one. You know, you know, Sergeant First Class Kevin Jenkins. You know,
Okay.
he picked this little young kid up. He was from North Carolina. You know, he showed
Okay.
me, he mentored me. You know, and
Yep.
just being in the military, doing that initial part, it was always non-commissioned officers who mentor a lot of the junior officers.
Yep.
You know, and I'm thankful for that. You know, Sergeant First Class Jenkins when I was a platoon leader. When I went to when I took company command, you know, First Sergeant Fairweather, awesome, awesome, was a mentor to me. Another good mentor with my old company commanders at right now, Colonel at that time, Captain Johnson, Chris Johnson, always a great mentor to me. Another great mentor. I'm gonna tell you, this is Colonel Austin. Colonel Austin. Colonel Austin. You recognize the last name Austin? So Austin is kin to David Austin. All those guys. Yeah. So Colonel Austin, he scared death into me, but he pushed me hard. And he pushed me hard. When I say that, he pushed me hard because he was like, you got to know your job. He said, I'm gonna be hard on you because I see your potential. I see your potential. You would be a great officer. You just need somebody to push you. And he always made sure I was on my toes. So Colonel Austin was a great mentor to me, and that was mostly doing my junior officer, captain years. And then, as you continue to progress in the military, I had another, when I was deployed downrange, his name was Lieutenant Colonel. He ended up being a general officer. Norman Green was another great guy. He's from South Carolina. And then as more and more I get to my military career where I'm at once I got to be a field grade, my past brigade commanders, General Sharpson, currently General Sharpson, he was my command sergeant major. Man, it's so many people.
There's a lot, you've been so many places.
Yeah, I've been so many places, and you always get mentors.
Yeah.
Because people see it in you, and they want you to be successful. And even right now, I got a lot of general officers, colonels. I tell you, some of the biggest ones was a lot of my fraternity brothers. My fraternity brothers have been great mentors to me. Even not just my fraternity brothers, a lot of the D9. Panhandle. I mean, a lot of those, the Greeks, do a lot of mentorship with one another. The Rocks, if any officers out there, you want to get into the Rocks. I mean, that is a platform. When I was younger, I thought the Rocks was something else, but as the mature and more older I got and more senior rank I got, I started to see that, that is a great organization for mentorship. I have even my boss here, he's a mentor, so many colonels like Colonel Mason, Colonel General Reagan, I have General Hammond. I got so many Colonel Hammond Johnson, Colonel Maddox, Colonel Maddox was West Pointer, he played football. I have so many mentors, that are out there, and they're just people that want to help, and there's nothing wrong with reaching out, because I'll reach out to those. I'll reach out to them and ask them for some help, and they will drop it a dime to help us. And that's what you want. And it's just not in the military. That's any organization. We talked a little bit about this earlier about networking, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. You got to have a mentor, somebody mentor you that kind of like got you going to your business, right? And they always going to be there to see you through. You got to have mentors. Right. There's nothing wrong with being mentored to anyone. That's true. And then you have to give back to somebody else, because you at this platform, you need to be able, like you're doing right now. This is great. This platform is great because you're not only having guests on here, but you're also talking about the stuff that you have going on as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit of both, and this is a great forum. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I will say this too. In college, I did not understand the importance of the D9. Like I was like, what? No, I mean I thought about it, but I was like, I don't want to dance. Because I'm just being honest, I wasn't raised around it. I wasn't raised around the sororities. I didn't know what they stood for, and I didn't research it young. And so now I understand, and I look at those organizations. I'm like, that's brilliant. Like the networking, the brotherhood and the sisterhood that you guys develop out of that. Like I would make sure if my kids go to college, I will tell them, look into those organizations. You don't have to do the D9s, but because there are some honors, sororities and things like that.
Yeah, there's some honors out there.
Right. Find the one that works best for you, because it's a networking thing. and I hate it now. I'm looking back on it because I hate it now that I was so small-minded in college that I was like, oh, I don't, because I just saw this, I don't want to say a word, but the stepping. I just saw those things, the Greek shows, that's all I noticed. But it's bigger than that, y'all. Trust me, it's it's way bigger than that. A lot of those individuals are the leaders, and they come out of those organizations and they go into their communities and they lead. So yes, good job, D9s. Y'all are doing awesome things. And like I said, it took me a minute to get there, but yeah, I appreciate what y'all are doing. Even now in my networking, a lot of the people that I meet, they are in some type of fraternity or sorority. So yeah.
But like you said, there's a whole bunch of different ones. There's a lot of business,
true.
There's a lot of business, type of groups that you can join. That part of the networking, depending on what type of organization you built around. There's people out there. There's a lot of mentorship programs out there to help you be successful. Those opportunities are out there. You just have to do some research. Everybody has a Google. You can Google anything now. I can Google right now and it'll tell me what you ask me a question. I can tell you what to say. I mean, it's just that the network out there, information is there. You just gotta get out there and research.
Right. And get out. And then I just realized you got to get out of your comfort zone. Right. Because again, in college, I was comfortable. I didn't want to research because I'm like, oh, I know what they do. Like, I know. Right. Like, I didn't know anything. Because we're young, we think we just got it all figured out. And no, life has its way of showing things are bigger than what you see. Get out of your comfort zone and like you said, reach out to folks. Learn. Like life is continuous learning to kids. It's not like once you get of a certain age, you're done learning. No, you learn lifelong learning. That's what you want, So is there any type of you feel like skill or personality type to be an officer in the Army or just join the Army at all? At all? Do you feel like there's any type of personality trait that needs to be?
I mean, you're talking about an organization that's built up multiple different type of personalities, right? And for me, everybody's different. So I can't say what works for me is going to work for anyone else. Because, I'm all about making, if I'm going to be a part of something, I'm going to make it, I want to contribute to the organization. I want to make the organization better. You got to be a leader. All right. Because the Army invests a lot of money in leadership skills.
Okay.
And the Army does a lot. The Army invests a lot of money in training their officers. If you ask me what the dollar amount is, I do not know. But I do know not just the Army, all the branches of services.
Right.
Marines, Air Force, even the Coast Guard. People forget that, the Coast Guard is part of the services.
True.
And so they invest a lot of money, leadership, be able to, think. I don't want to get too in crossing the line. I want to stay within my parameters.
Yeah, I get you.
Good leaders, good people wants to be, in charge of people, charging an organization, making an organization better. That's one of the things my mentors, tell me is like, if you're going to be a part of any type of business or any type of organization or corporation, you want to bring in what value you have added to that organization, right? And then you want to make the organization better. You don't want to drive it to the ground. You want to make sure it's better. And the big thing you got to be, I like to treat people with dignity and respect. That's been one of my big nuggets of being to my success is I treat people with dignity and respect, and I'm willing to help.
Okay.
I'm willing to help out. And that's, I don't know if I answered your question though. I think I went on.
No, you good. You're doing good. All right.
I can keep going on and on.
It's fine. You're doing good, Coffey. All right. So you guys know Coffey and I, we're actually cousins. So you're fine. You're fine. All right. So what are some of the benefits of being in the Army? I mean, we're an Air Force family over here. So, I mean, I can't speak on it because I'm just a spouse, but from a person in the Army.
You can speak on it, right? You can speak on it. No, because, you talked about being able to travel, right?
Yeah.
Being able to travel to see the world. That's one thing. All right. I got a couple more. I remember I was in Korea, stationed in Korea 2 years ago. I remember one time I walked outside and I was like, how did I end up here? Just you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I did it one time when I was in Iraq. The same thing. It was I looked
Mm,
outside one night and I was in Iraq and I looked up and I seen the stars. I was like,
mm,
it's just like being back in Mississippi. How did I get here?
hmm.
You know.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
know, I was able to see
yeah,
the world. I've been to different places. That's one thing you're able to see the world. Um, you know, the army helped me grow up fast, mature.
yeah, yeah,
You know, be responsible for not other just than me, but other people. You know,
yeah,
that's one of the things. Stability, right?
yeah,
Financial
yeah,
security has been there for
yeah.
me because back during when was it like 2005, 2008, you know, when you know the it was pretty rough during those times.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, a lot of people
yeah.
were getting laid off and
Mm,
you know, I still had a job, but what even though I still had a job, guess where I was at? I was in Iraq, you know,
mm, yeah,
one and then I went back again like another year and was it like almost 2 years later, I went back again, you
yeah,
know, and uh so that stability has been there, but like it comes with a risk, right? The risk is,
yeah.
you know, I'm not gonna be around family. You know, you know, I'm not gonna be around to see. I'm gonna miss some stuff on theirs, but I knew that.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I miss when
yeah,
being with my wife. I was deployed since we've been married.
yeah.
She's been deployed. You know how it is.
Hmm.
You know, your
Oh yeah.
husband he's been deployed, and you know, and you as your spouse, you had to stay back there and hold the fort down.
Yeah,
You know,
hold it down. Hold it down.
you got to relearn a whole new family and a whole new task that the children are doing. You know,
So
those are the type of things
true.
you have to come
It's
back and you
so
just got to
true.
do a mental reset and you got to learn everything all over again. You
That's
know,
so true. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Oh
And
gosh.
then the last, and then the last thing I'm gonna tell you this is just being around people. You know, being
Yeah.
around good people. When I talk about being in great organizations, you know, being in a great organization, you leave an organization that is already in tune and you did your best, and you know you did your best, and
Mhm.
everything is, you know, I dial on this at least every year. I get a call from or a text or a Facebook message. Hey, sir, you know what? You remember when you did this for me back when I was a private? You know,
Mm.
you understood, you know, and I just want to thank you, sir. And guess what, sir? I'm a sergeant first class. Stuff like that just
Ah,
lights
yeah.
me up. You know,
Right,
like
right.
you know, and then I see you see young lieutenants, you know, that I mentored, you know, and when I was a captain as a major, and you know, they're majors now, and they come to commanders, and you know, and it's you know that stuff right there is like, you know what, I'm doing a great service here, and I'm giving back to the community, I'm giving back
Yeah.
to our organization, and
Right.
those are the things that really just lights me up. It's not about awards to me,
Hmm.
you know. I don't,
Yeah.
you know, I never been the type of person that you know, was worried about I'm getting an award or this like that my eval. No, I was, you know, what did I'm doing to help somebody in the organization?
Right.
I'm making the
Yep.
organization better.
Yep. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, but you were so right on the deployments at all and holding it down because and it's I'm so glad you said that, you guys, because I feel like all the pictures we share of all the places we've been, and we always share those fun memories, but it can be rough with the distance, and like you said, when y'all come back, it's like, wait a minute, we don't do that anymore. We do it this way. And it's like,
Yeah,
what are you doing? So I totally get that. And I'm pretty sure anybody else who
yeah. So
military affiliated, yeah.
yeah,
So it's an adjustment. So yeah, we do make it look
yes,
fun. And it is. It is. But at the same time, it does have those
yes,
drawbacks of missing, anniversaries and birthdays and holidays.
yeah,
There's been several where, and I'm not blaming him because I knew what I was marrying into. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? So it wasn't like I'm gonna marry. Well, I've been knowing him since high school, but I'm gonna marry this guy in the military and then jump down his throat because he's not at home. You can't do that. You have to understand what he does. So it takes a special bond and a special relationship to get through all. It can be challenging, but you have to know your partner. So know what you're getting
Yeah,
into, ladies. If you're gonna marry or join the military, because even ladies, they deploy and they have kids, and it's like,
yeah,
let's be real. Sometimes they have to leave their kids, and
yeah. And
it's
here's the
rough.
stat. You probably seen this. You know, there are a lot of you know, males that are stay-at-home dads, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yep, yep.
the service member, you know, they're out there, you know, doing, you know, being leaders and in charge of units and
True.
organizations, and dad back there, he makes sure that
That's true.
he's cooking, he's holding things down, and comfortable with that. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with being a stay at home
No.
dad. We
No.
see it all the time.
That's so true. It's different. When we say it's different from civilian world, it is different. You have to have a different mindset in order to be, affiliated with the military. So, but I love it. Like, I really do enjoy being a spouse,
It's great.
and the perks. It's you can't beat it. Let's be honest, right? Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's good.
yeah, it is. So and I know the answer, but was your job affected by COVID at all?
Because what COVID came on about a year ago. I mean,
About a year.
we still been going here in my job, but we,
Okay.
we did all the proper mitigations. Had to decrease personnel. Maybe we did a thing. But most military organizations, they outline things that we can do. Whether it's go to some minimum manning or anything like that. But
Right.
I would say that it does affect. It does affect everybody at some point,
Yeah.
And let's go back to the family members, and it just didn't affect military, it affected everybody. The children had to be at home. They're doing homeschooling, you got, some soldiers had to be at the house. They couldn't be in the office, but we were able to work through those frictions and still come out with good results because, they really have the U.S. really rely heavily on the military, especially our medical folks, to be out there in the field, especially right now with administering the COVID vaccine and things like that, So a lot of times with stuff like that, our jobs we're still going.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
fighting a different type of war, a different type of enemy, which is new. It's not nothing new because I think it was back in like back during like World War I. This ain't the first time we faced an epidemic like this before.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what advice would you give to anyone wanting to? We'll do this two ways. Wanting to join the Army, whether they're enlisted or officer. What advice would you give them?
The advice I give you, is like for me, and a lot of make the most of it in a good way, right?
Okay.
You go in any type of organization or any type of thing you do, you got to go open-minded until you see things how they really are. And you got to make the most of it, right?
Yeah.
Make the most of it. Don't go in there and be like, oh man, I don't, figure out what's your instinct. What are you trying to get out of this? Are you going to do, 4 years and, I want to do 4 years, learn a skill so I can take it outside and go, in the civilian sector, or, I just want to fill it out. Maybe I need some, structure in my life. I try this out, but make the most of it. Don't, just make the most of any opportunity, any type of organization you're in. Go in there and put all the effort you can into it. And I guarantee if you go in there with that mindset that I got my instinct of what I want to get out of this, and then if you happen to, you do your commitment and you get out, and you're like, man, that was the best time I ever had in my life when I was on active duty. Man, I wish I can go back. I get that all the time. Like, I wish I had a coffee. I wish I had just stayed in there, those type of things. So, they all the branches are, they're different, but it's all about service. The service that you do.
I gotta show this comment. Christopher Thompson said, "Work the military because they will work you."
Yeah, that's
right.
Air Force.
I love it.
Yeah, he's Air Force, right? So he's
okay.
Yeah, so but at the end of the day, it's all about, what you're gonna get out of it,
Right.
As long as when you at the end of the day, it's like, man, I came to work, man. We worked hard today, but you know what? It was worth it.
Right. And you know what? Those 20 years go by real fast, and that's one of the things that I tell young kids. It's like, but think about working 20 years for the military versus getting to retirement in a regular job. If the military route is something you want to do, go all in, I agree with you.
Yes.
It's like if you can go get the 20, or as close to it as you can, so that you can keep those benefits. So that's
Yeah.
what I
If
tell them. If
you,
I'm wrong, correct me, but that's what I tell them.
yeah.
So what about being an officer? What is the best route, or is there one to become an officer?
So there are several routes to be an officer. Um, you could do ROTC, the reserve officer. Course. I mean, you could be a ROTC if you're in college.
Okay.
If you already in like a National Guard or reserve unit, you can go to officer candidate school. A lot of high school. Here's something else. Now I will share this with on this platform.
Okay.
Like West Point and West Point and the Air Force Academy out there in Colorado.
Right.
All those different military schools. You know, those are great organizations to go and it's a military school now. All right, it's a
Right.
military school.
Right.
But I tell you, those are like Ivy League like curriculums there. And that's just like,
Okay.
up in like Harvard and, yeah, all those big schools, Stanford, you get a great education, so you can go that
Mhm.
route. Like I said, if you own active duty and, you already, there's certain requirements you got to do if you already like, if you're on the listed side,
Right.
you got to have a degree,
Right.
or pursuing a degree. But I think right now you got to have a degree. And I know, in your ROTC, when you're in ROTC, you got to get a degree. That's one of the
Okay.
requirements, right? You
Yeah.
got to get a degree, and then and to be commissioned. Those are like the big things. You got to have an education background, right?
Yeah.
You got to have the
Yeah.
education. You got to be pursuing a degree. One thing I tell a lot of no matter if you're in the guard or and take a class here, take a class there. Just continue to build up that momentum. If that's something you're striving for, hey,
Right.
put in the effort. Put in the effort, and I
Yeah.
guarantee it'll pay off. It will pay off in the
Right.
long run.
That's true. That hard work, I tell you. It pays off in the end. I mean, we don't understand it when we're grinding in it, but it sure works out. And especially if it's something that's God given, like this is where you're supposed to be going. So I tell my
Amen.
kids, don't fight the process. Let it happen. It hurts. Some of the stuff we go through, it hurts, but enjoy the process and pay attention and learn lessons. Even failures are opportunities to learn. So yeah.
Yeah, continue
So
to learn.
that's yeah. But that is it. Coffee, I appreciate you. Like I was saying, you guys, we are Ken. This is my cousin.
Yep, yes we are.
And so I had to reach out to see if he would come on and give us some of his time and his expertise in the Army. And we are super proud of you, Coffee, from Montgomery County. It's amazing to see people from our hometown because it's such a small town. You guys have to know Kim Michael. We love it. Like I tell people everywhere I go, Kim Michael, that's my home. Like I had such a fun time. Everybody, the adults around there, they all watched over us. We all felt safe. It was just a great place to be raised, and to see you and everyone else who came out of there and just doing big things. Congratulations to you, and I know you are doing your best because I can hear the passion in you. So I love it.
Yeah,
Congratulations, and your brother Daryl as well. I know he just commissioned as well. Not commissioned, but am I saying that right?
yes. Yes. So check this out. So Darryl graduated from Southern Miss as well. They all follow me. Darryl got commissioned.
Okay.
Daryl's gonna have to do. He's an engineering officer. He's a major. My cousin Emmett.
Okay.
He's a major. He's in the reserve.
Okay.
He graduated from Southern Miss. Remember David Austin? David Austin.
Yeah.
Me and David Austin was at Southern Miss together. I think I'm the reason why David Austin is an officer now to this day because we was in me, Daryl, and David. We was all in ROTC together at USM. And I remember Kevin Burnett. I think he was in the Marines when we was at Southern Miss.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Lamar pops up. I was like, what? He's in ROTC. He's on the military. That was a surprise.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get him on here to tell his story. He told me no. That's I'm like, okay, that's all right. No, this time you gonna come. Like, I know you hear me. But yeah, we got to get him on to talk about the Air Force at some point. But Yeah, thanks again, Coffee. I thank everyone for tuning in. That ends this month of our Black History event. And you guys, if you have any questions about either becoming, joining, or being in the Army, reach out to Lieutenant Colonel Coffey. His contact information is on the screen. And thanks again. And I see you be moving to Kansas. So you're coming back down. You're coming back, closer to home. So that's cool.
Yes. So I'll be in June. I'll be taking battalion command. So that was that's one of those goals that I set for myself. And I'm gonna be a battalion commander. Thank God, for that, and and the leaders that that had my back, and that go to the mentors and the people I work for, and just being around great soldiers, and not just because I work with I work for Air Force, Navy, officers or soldiers or sailors, airmen, all of them. I work with all the joint forces, and just being around different people, just being it makes you makes coming to work easy every day. Yeah. Not to say every day ain't always squeaky, smooth, but at the end of the day, it's just a great job. And just the last thing I want to say, I remember about 6 years ago, I went to right before Montgomery County High School, before they transitioned to that whole big one owner secondary, however they want to put it together now, Montgomery County. I went back and I spoke at the school, and and actually me and my wife did, and I told everybody, I was like, if I can do it, you can do it, but you don't have to do what I did. You got to do something, and you can do it. There's a lot of people out there that can do it, and you might not want to go to college, but you can do something. You don't have to. You don't have to go to college. Maybe you don't want to. You don't want to go to college. You don't have to go to college, but do something. Be productive in your. And it don't matter what career it is or profession that you're in. Do your best. And strive for greatness. As long as you strive for greatness and do your best, and you helping people and helping not only helping yourself, but you look outside of that. I mean, life is great for you, and God's gonna bless you.
God definitely. It comes back. That's so true. So true. So true. Well, all right, you all. Thanks for all the comments. You got a lot of comments, by the way.
Can I see the comments? I'd like to see the comments.
Okay. Kendra said, "Hey, it's been so long since I've seen her. Oh my gosh." She said, "Hey, hometown."
I see all the comments now.
Yeah. That's thanks, Trail. Let's see, and then you have Van and Brown. She said, "Yay, Antonio." I'm just gonna briefly go through this. And we saw him. Hey, team, bring him up. You guys, thank you. Hey, Mississippi. And you got, one of your frats. And so you guys, thanks again for your time and just joining in. And if you guys have any other, if you have a profession out there who you want to talk about it, let me know. Let's get you on and tell, because I want to continue this. And if you know someone who's doing something unique, bring them on. Give them my information. Tell them to reach out. I would love to have people on to continue this conversation, because the youth, they just, some of us, we don't know what we want to do, but to meet somebody and then they just lead the way and you just follow their path. So it's definitely worth it to continue this conversation. So, all right. So that is all. Coffee again. Well, I think, I'm sorry. Hey, brother. And then Kendra ended with, "So proud of you." Well, thank you, Kendra. We appreciate that. So, all right. And Kendra, tell your husband thank you for his service as well. So, you guys take care and have a good night. Thanks again, Lieutenant Colonel.
Thank you.
Colonel. It's a big difference. Huge difference.
I know. Doctor. I got to call you doctor, right?
No.
Thank you, doctor. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for being here. God bless you. Stay your course.
Good night.
Good night.
Right. Good night, y'all.